Indian seafood stocks surged up to 11% on Wednesday, and the trigger came from far beyond India's shores. Multiple media reports claimed that China is preparing to halt seafood imports from Japan, a move that could instantly reroute global demand toward alternative suppliers, including India. And the markets reacted in seconds. If China really shuts its doors to Japanese seafood, India could become one of the biggest beneficiaries. Indian exporters have been squeezed hard by steep US tariffs, and the United States is still India's largest seafood market, supplying giants like Walmart and Kroger. But a sudden vacuum in China? That could be the opening they have been waiting for. India exported $7.4 billion worth of seafood last year. Shrimp alone accounted for 40% of that value. But the US-bound shipments becoming costlier and slower, the industry has been hunting for new markets. And now, China might just be the jackpot. Shares of shrimp giant Avanti Feeds skyrocketed 11%, its biggest intraday jump in more than 2 months. Coastal Corporation, which earlier announced plans to increase exports to China, rose 5%, its sharpest climb since late October. If Beijing shuts out Japanese seafood, India's exporters may find themselves lifting off. But the story isn't just economic, it's geopolitical. These reports emerged as China-Japan tensions hit their most dangerous point since 2012, triggered by comments from Japan's new Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi on November 7th. She suggested Tokyo could consider military involvement if Taiwan were attacked. Beijing reacted instantly. China summoned Japan's ambassador. It warned its citizens to avoid traveling to Japan. And Chinese state media reported that releases of 2 Japanese films were being delayed.
近日，日本首相高市早苗公然发表涉台错误言论，从根本上损害中日关系政治基础，对双方经贸交流合作带来了严重负面影响。中方敦促日方本着对历史和中日关系负责任的态度，收回错误言行，切实履行对华承诺，为两国经贸合作创造良好环境。
China has tried to justify the potential halt as a precaution related to the monitoring of treated wastewater from the Fukushima nuclear plant, the same issue that triggered an earlier ban in 2023. Beijing only recently resumed partial imports, and now history may repeat itself. A geopolitical clash between China and Japan, a giant trade vacuum waiting to be filled, and Indian seafood exporters suddenly back in the game. If China pulls the plug on Japanese seafood, one thing is clear: India may be about to reel in its biggest catch in years. With Rudrashish Kanjilal, Bureau Report, India Today Global.